Hello everyone, this is Rama. I am a senior DevOps engineer, and today I would like to demonstrate practically in a simple way the continuous integration and continuous deployment pipeline using like Jenkins, and then I'll be using the tools like Git, and then we'll be using Ansible and Apache, and I'll be explaining this practically in a simplest way, like which you can easily understand and you can do it yourself with the AWS infrastructure. And see on the screen, you see basically we have, I'll show you here, is a we have a simple web page. It's not complicated, it's just a text web page. We can use one line or two lines web page, and we wanted to store that web page information into this GitHub, uh, and we can use Git client to push that our web page, and then from GitHub you can pull the web content into the Jenkins, and then we can build a web page. Basically building the web page is just pulling from the content from the GitHub and keeping into the staging area. So that's what the continuous integration we explain in this scenario. And then we use the same Jenkins tool to use a continuous deployment, which we use Ansible, and we use the Ansible playbook, and then we create a web server. It's an Apache web server, and then we deploy the code, our website, whatever we created in the GitHub. So in this one we use two servers basically. Yeah, you can use with each functionality one server you can use, but like in this scenario I'm using two servers. It's server one is having the Git client, and then we configure Jenkins and then Ansible on it, and then server 2 will be using and configuring the Apache web server. That's where we see the final website and from the internet. Okay, this is the architecture, and in this, with this example, we can clearly demonstrate how this continuous integration, continuous deployment CI/CD pipeline using Jenkins tool. I'll show you practically, and let's see. For this one, we need two systems. We'll create those two systems from the Amazon website, AWS cloud. So let me take two systems. Go to the launch here, and then hold on. Okay, in this one I choose Amazon Linux. So this is a free tier system, and then I'm selecting the T2 with one CPU and 1 GB of memory. That should be sufficient for the demonstration. And then I'm creating the two instances, and this with the default 8 GB configuration. And then security group. So what yeah, I'll use this one default. Let me do one thing. Let me go back and create two servers individually so that I can have a different security groups. Okay, this one let me basically like this one I like for the first server which I like to use for the server one, which is Jenkins and Ansible. And on this one, let me name it Jenkins Ansible security group. And then I'll just add this is SSH TCP with the 22 port is there, and let me add for this one I might need port 8080, so that we can configure later also, but let me just configure here. So ultra quick, ultra quick, and then okay, let me do the custom port. 1 second. Let's say custom protocol TCP, and then okay, 1 second, custom TCP role, and here use 8080, and for everyone, and yeah, review and launch, and launch. And I already have some key pair, so which I'm attaching that. If not, you can just create your new key pair and attach it. That will be used for logging into the system. And it's creating one server. Okay, and then I think, let me check that server. So it's creating that, and let me just use the name for that so that it's easy to remember. And it's for Jenkins Ansible, Jenkins Ansible. Jenkins Ansible server. Okay, and let me launch my second instance. It's same Amazon Linux. I'm picking it up, and it's a same default configuration with the 8 GB and 1 CPU. And here in the security group, I'm just adding port 80, which I'll be using for the web server, and it's for anywhere, and then it's for web server. So, security group, web server security group, and review and launch, and I added the same key pair. So, and it will take a few seconds to create the servers. And let me name this one as well. So web server, still creating, that's right. Okay, web server. Okay, let me write it again. Web server. Now it should stop. Okay, we have two servers, and let me grab the IP address for Jenkins first. And this is the address, and okay, okay, let me open a partition and just add this. Okay, just add this IP address, and then save it as a Jenkins server, Jenkins Ansible server. Let me see if I can log in to that. Yeah, I could able to log in. And let me change this server name. Set host name. Let me make it Jenkins Ansible server. Okay, let me see host name. So once I re-log in, it will come back. So let me duplicate session, log in again. Yeah, I see the server name Jenkins. Let me close the previous one, and then let me create another partition for the web server. Let me grab the web server IP address. Let me open another partition for this, and let me change the web server IP address, and let me name it as web server. Web server. Okay, and then log in and test it. Yeah, we could able to log in. Let me change the host name. Set host name and web server host name. Okay, and let me re-log in on this one. So I got the web server, and let me close the other one. So I have two partitions open for this, and then so what we do today is let's create one GitHub repository, and let's call it as a, let me go to the GitHub. You might have a GitHub account already. If not, just create that one, and once you log in, just create a blank repository, and let's name it as a demo simple CICD. Okay, and then it's a public, and just create that repository. Okay, we got the repository is created, and this is the one. And then let's say we go to the Jenkins server, and this also will be using as a Git client. So first we'll install let me just yum update and see any packages needed. Let me do that. Yes, this will install what are the required packages, which after OS is installed. And then let me do the git client, install git client. Okay, and then now the git client is there. So what do we do is let's here we are in the EC2 user, and let's create one directory here, and let's name it as the same as the repository which we created. It's called demo simple CICD, demo simple CICD. Okay, just go to that folder. Okay, here what do we do is let's create a simple website. It's echo, this is simple website. Index.html. Okay, and it's a simple one page line, so we just need this for demonstration, but later if you want we can update this index.html with any kind of information which might need. And then let's initialize this one into the git repository, and you might already know, but if not, just follow this. Basically first we initialize the git repository, and then add this file. We have one file, git, and we can do the dot, or we can do the index. So index.html, and then we can do the status and see what is status now. So basically we have one file there, and then you can commit that now, commit, and then modify with just put some comments. Say first commit. Okay, and then please tell me who are. Basically we need to just inform the git config. So let's do this, and I'll put my information here at yahoo.com, and then let's give that username also here. Okay, that's done. Then let me repeat that again, commit. So now we committed that one file is there, and then let's make it as a main branch for this. Main, and then okay, let's do git remote. We push this git to the remote site at origin. What do we do is we'll take our this one from the git repository. And then we do the push, git push, and then what we do is I already have a SSH key set up for this. Git at github.com and colon got my username, then our project name, demo simple CICD.git, Let's see if it works. Yeah, SSH key is doing. Not read the remote for the public key permission either. Okay, let me add this public key. Let me come here. Okay, go here. Okay, for this case, yeah, we can do the public key, or we can use the username and password, and either way is fine. And let me, yeah, we can create the public key here. SSH key gen. This is a public key which we can copy it into the my GitHub repository. New SSH key. You can say from Jenkins server. Okay, and done. And let me see if it works again. Go to the other folder, and then let's repeat the command. Okay, push. Yeah, no, it worked. So this, and we need not use the password and everything for that, so we can use that to do that. And then once this is done, and let's say this is okay. Now we have, let me check, and this is a index file with the content. Let's see, my repository has that. So let me go to the Devops CICD, and then see the index file, and this is a content which we have already sent it. So from Git client, we send this file to the GitHub. Okay, now next step is let's go and install Jenkins on our server, and this one you can get a Jenkins, how to install Jenkins from the install Jenkins on CentOS. Okay, let's go from the Jenkins site itself. Jenkins install. Okay, let me use the Linux Jenkins install. So we have a Amazon Linux. That's almost we can use the CentOS steps, and Red Hat and CentOS both are same. So we can use this weekly release or this one. Okay, let's go with this steps. This is just configuring the repo, and then adding the key, and then upgrading upgrading what are the packages required, and then installing the let's do with this first. Configuring the repository, and we can do it here. Okay, the repository is done, and then let's do the install of that Jenkins and then Java. Okay, yes, and then just reloading the system CTL. Okay, then okay, so system CTL, and then start Jenkins. Okay, and then we'll enable Jenkins as well, so it will start automatically in the next reboot. Okay, check the status of the Jenkins. Status. Okay, it's active and running. And normally this Jenkins installation will create a user called a Jenkins etc password, and it's better we add this Jenkins user to the group to the EC2 user. That way, like later if we need some EC2 user configuration onto the Jenkins ID files, so we can do that. So sudo user mod -a -g Jenkins. Something similar to the user group will be there with the Jenkins, and then our user is EC2 user. Okay, we added that, and then let's we are in this. Okay, let's next one is let's open the Jenkins web page. It's on port 8080. Let me go to our server, Jenkins server, and then grab the public face name or IP address, this one, and this one we just add port 8080, and then yeah, it takes just few seconds, and yeah, it opened, and then it needed a password that we'll get it from this file, and it's on a server. Sudo cat, and this is the password. And then basically it will suggest for some plugins which are commonly used. So let's go with that plugins installation, so that we'll have a few plugins which is already pre-installed, and it takes only a few seconds, I think less than a minute or so. And once this is done, when we open, we just need one additional plugin which is called publish over SSH plugin that we'll be using for this CICD deployment, communication between those two servers. So we'll do that. Okay, let's create a user. Let's go with the admin as a user. Password. Okay, user. Let me give my ID, email ID. Yahoo.com. Okay, save and continue. Okay, this is the instance called. It's the same thing like system with the port 8080. And let's save and finish. Start using Jenkins. So now we have this one, and then we'll just add one plugin, publish over SSH. Let me go to the manage Jenkins, and here manage plugins. That's where you go and install the plugins, and go with the available plugins and type publish over SSH. This is the one. Install without restart. Okay, the plugin is installed. And then let's go to the dashboard, and now what we need is we'll create one job, but before that what we can do is there are two servers, right? One is a Jenkins server, other one is a web server. So for that one we need some SSH trust setup, and that we just go and do that SSH trust setup, so that we can communicate between those two servers. And okay, let me go to the SSH directory, and this one is Jenkins server, and this one is a web server. Okay, here for the web server also, let me create a key SSH key gen SSH hyphen key gen. Okay, so now we just need to copy this public key onto the other system. Grab the public key and authorized keys. Okay, here paste it and make sure there's no break in the lines. Okay, and then the same thing you do for the other way, just in case required. And then here authorize keys, here add this public key. Okay, and we added both ways public keys, and let's do, okay, let's add this IP address there in the host file, so we can just copy it -a. So this is the IP address, and add it here. So ATC host. Web server, and its own IP address also, we'll just add it. Jenkins Ansible server. So we'll do the same entries in the other host file, so we can easily access with the name etc host. Here also. So now let's do on SSH with the web server hostname. Let's see if it communicates. Okay, it's established here. And let's see from here SSH. What do we say is Jenkins Ansible server hostname. First time we're doing, so it will ask one. Yeah, both ways is communicated. And also we'll make sure normally the Jenkins server will use the Jenkins ID to log in onto this, and then we'll see wherever is required we'll add that kind of stuff as well. So that kind of Jenkins SSH key as well. So but let's see here, the next step what we can do is now we go let's create a job. Okay, and for that one let's go new item. Okay, and then let's make it as a job name as Docker, not Docker, what we call same thing with whatever we use the job. Let's see the job here, simple demo, simple say. Okay, let's make it a job the same. Okay, then job. Okay, demo simple CICD job, and then we choose a freestyle project. And here what we do is first we need to get the Git configuration, like we need to have established communication between Jenkins and GitHub server. So let's select the Git, and then we'll take our repository name, and we go and take the repository name here. We'll go to the code, and then the repository name is here, and add the repository name here. Okay, the repository is added. So what we do is for the branches we'll just remove, so it will not specifically look for any master kind of, so it will take all the branches whatever we have, and then automatically we need to get it triggered, like whenever we push a code onto the GitHub, it should create a execute the job. So basically we have to check this GitHub hook trigger, and then we'll save it here, and then 1 second, and then we need to do one more thing on the GitHub side for the webhook. So let's go here, go to the settings, and we need to tell the GitHub that whenever you change any code in this or any commits, then you need to initiate a webhook to the Jenkins server. So let's go to the webhooks here, and create webhook, and here we need to add that our, let's see, take this our site Jenkins address, and then paste it here, and then just make sure remove the extra characters, and then here GitHub hyphen webhook, GitHub hyphen webhook. Okay, and then select application JSON. Okay, and then here we need to add the secret key so that we can get authentication. That one we need to grab it from Jenkins server. So let's go here to the user, and then go to the configure, and here generate a token, here generate, and then copy this token and save it here first, and then go back to the webhook and paste it here, and okay, we have webhook, and then add web. Just we select just the push event, so whenever it changes, will just be it will trigger the job onto the Jenkins. So that's what we want, right? Continuous integration. So whenever we have a code change, then you need to build. So that's one. So that process is done, and then let's go to the Jenkins server, and then here let's go to our job dashboard, and then job here. So our configure, and then we need to do the we established a communication between GitHub and Jenkins, and then we made sure that automatic job deployment, whenever there is any commit in the code, so it comes and triggers here. Now we need to do some steps and what we need to do for building this. So this is a simple project. So what we do in this building is just take the file from the GitHub and then stage it into the staging area. So let's say staging area, we'll put the staging area here in the Jenkins server. Let me sudo, and then let's make it here some directory, stage. Okay, let's put stage, and then permissions, basically it will be accessed by the Jenkins. So change mode 775 stage, change owner Jenkins stage. So this is where we have that, and okay, and then we go back here and add a build step. Before adding the build step, let's do some SSH configuration from this Jenkins to those two servers, because those things are needed for this build SSH, otherwise it will fail there. So let's go back to the dashboard. This one we can do save, and then go back to the dashboard, and here manage Jenkins, do the configuration system, yeah, it's taking a little bit time, and then here we go down and we'll do the SSH configuration, so that we can use with the key to authenticate, and here public over SSH, and for the SSH servers we need to add. So let's add a server name. Let's do like two servers. The Jenkins has to communicate with its own Jenkins server, where we have Ansible and Jenkins, everything is configured. So let's say Jenkins Ansible server, and the host name, I will grab the IP address. This one, Okay, and then username is EC2 user. So, and then we go to the advanced, and here we use the you select this user password, and just for security reason we won't use that root login or anything. And let's go with keys, and here just go up, and this is where we'll put the key part key. Let's first stage those keys. So let's say, let me see, okay, let me come down to AC. Okay, keys, our keys are here in the EC2 directory in the .ssh. Okay, this is a key is there, so let's create a sudo mkdir, create a key folder, and copy this. Okay, let's this keys are for Jenkins to access. So let me make ch corner Jenkins. Let me copy it first, and then copy to keys. Okay, let's do sudo copy as the keys. So this one is the key, private key, which we copied. So right now it is owned by the root, so let's change it into change owners. We do recursive Jenkins key. Let's just add a sudo before this. Okay, so sudo key. So yeah, keys are there with the key Jenkins. Let's see. So this is the path of the file keys. So let's see if we can paste it here and see that will work. Okay, and then just do the test configuration. Okay, it failed. So it failed with the failed to connect instead. Okay, then let's do one thing. Let's check. So let's see, we have this public key, so we need to have this public key copied into authorized keys so that it has a communication. So cat this one, and then to authorized keys. Now let's check and see if it works, and let's do the test configuration again. Okay, it worked. So we might have to do the same thing for the web server as well. So let's grab this key. I think we have this key on the web server. Let's see if it doesn't work, we'll try again. So this is for Jenkins server. Okay, and then add one more for web server. It's for web server, and web server IP address. Okay, host. Web server is IP address is this one, EC2 user, and then let's do advanced, and use password authentication, and keys is the path for the SSH key. The same thing, test configuration. Yeah, it works. So we'll just save this. So this one we created SSH authentication from the Jenkins application to Jenkins server as well as for the web server. Now let's go back to our job here, and here let's configure and let's do the build steps, configuring the build. So here add a build step. What we do is we create a send files execute commands over the SSH. We choose this one, and the build step which we use is we use the Jenkins server, and we save whatever the files which we got it from the GitHub to the staging area. So that one we use the rsync to do that, and let's use the rsync command here, rsync, and before that let's put the sudo, I think sudo rsync dash a3h, and then we need to know the path where the Jenkins will get the files. So that let's put some stem, we'll find out where it is, and then our staging area is slash stage. Okay, this is where we copy the file. So let's save this. We'll get this temp just in a minute. We'll just schedule a job, and then we'll see the log file, and we'll get the file name, save, and then we just do the first build. This is going to fail, but just to capture the log, and then path, and this is the log. So we'll go here, and this is the path. That's where the files will be copied to. So we'll take this one and go back to our job and configure, and update the rsync with that information. Let's see. Rsync is a build stage. Rsync okay, this is the path. So from here the stage file, so that need to be synced. Let's see if it comes. So this is just build stage. So and let's run this job and see if it gets succeeded, and then we'll see if any issues are there. We'll sort it out. Just execute the second job, and yeah, that's great. So we had a success here. So let's look at the console output, and this one console output. This is the second job. So basically it started, and it finished and successfully. So, and also one more way to find out is in the stage area we need to see our files. So let's go to the stage and see index file is there. So here index file is there. The content of the index file is a simple test web page. Okay, so we got it here. So this is build phase is done. So continuous integration part is done. Let's go to the continuous deployment or continuous delivery phase. So that's where what we do is we go back to the job again, and then here in the configure, let's go down, and this is a post build action. That's where we'll configure basically continuous deployment where we use the Jenkins with the Ansible, and then we try to play a playbook. So for that one, let's do one thing. First go to the Jenkins server, and let's go to sudo to root, so that you will not issue sudo. So now we need on this one Ansible install. So let's do yum install Ansible, Okay, this is Amazon Linux, so they're asking us to run some different command. Let's run this test.point command to install the Ansible. Okay, yes, so the Ansible is installing, and then once Ansible is installed, we'll just check to make sure the Ansible works. We need to do configure Ansible to be able to see web server etc host. We have a web server, this one, so the Ansible host file will be etc Ansible. Kindly hold on. Okay, the Ansible is done, and we are editing the Ansible host file. Let's go to the, let's see, Ansible va host file, and here at the end just add web, add that web address. Okay, we got the host file, and then what do we do is let's go back to EC2 user, and then Ansible. We use the Ansible communication with the ping, so -m ping, and then web. Let's see if it communicates. Yeah, it got communicated, and we got a successful result. So the ping pong and with the IP address says that it's success. So now we are good in the communication. Now what we do is we are okay, we go back to the home directory of EC2, and let's create a playbook. So our target aim is here, create a Ansible playbook YAML file, where we'll just make sure our web server, we reach the web server and see we install the Apache on it, and then we'll make sure that we start the Apache, and then we just deploy our web page file into that Apache hosting directory. So these three tasks we will perform using this Ansible with the YAML code with the Ansible playbook. So let's create some playbook directory. So go to playbook, and let's create a file called what we can name it. We can name it web server play .yml. We can name anything. So, and then the code, normally it should start with 3 hyphens, and then let's see, we name it and name it as a, let's say, Apache server installation. Apache server install. Okay, and then let's say host, which host will target. It's on the web server, so only one server. We already listed that. And then normally Ansible will gather some facts when it tries to run, so that will take little time. So because we don't need any facts about the system, so let's disable that with a gather facts parameter, making it as a false. That will speed up our code execution. And then whenever we need it, it can become sudo and complete the job. So we'll say become yes. Ansible is very particular on the spaces, so we just have add a space there. And then let's do the tasks. So The tasks, let's have three tasks. One task is let's make sure the latest Apache is installed. Latest Apache version installed, and this one we use task task to install. So that one we can have name as HTTP. This is a Apache package. Is as simple like yum install HTTP. Same thing we're doing here with the YAML file, and then state. Let's make sure the latest version is installed, and then okay, and then another task is let's make sure this is enabled and running. Apache enabled and running. See, it's basically the service. So service task. So name HTTP enabled okay, and state started. So if it is not started, it will start. If it is already started, then it will just ignore. Okay, we have Apache installed, and then make sure it's running. That's the second task, and the third one is we'll deploy the code to the page. Okay, name, copy our web page content. Okay, we use the copy task. So source is our stage area, and then okay, let's say index.html, and then destination is in the source. We can if you have more files, then just you can just leave that file name and it will copy it, and the destination is okay. Source, we'll just put the space there, and destination where HTML. This is where Apache web pages will go. Okay, and then save it. Web server play YML. Okay, and then what we do is this path is okay, let's take the complete path. And this is EC2 user group. So, and our Jenkins has a ID. Jenkins has group ID EC2 user. EC2 user is part of the Jenkins group. So Jenkins will get the permission. I think we have the group. Right. Let's make this one as a change group Jenkins. So change group Jenkins. Change group minus R will do from the playbook. Okay, change or Jenkins. Okay. Okay. User is EC2 user and group is Jenkins, so both can access. And now we go back to our Jenkins configuration post build, and here and select send build artifacts over SSH. Okay, and then here select the Jenkins server, and then here execute command. So we do Ansible playbook, and then we put home playbook, and then content file. I'll add it. So Ansible playbook. So and then we'll save it, and let's see. Right now we have a two builds. Let's see, we'll run and see if it works. So we're running a job. Oh, it didn't work. So let's see what's the problem. And console output. So exception when publishing, exception message status is not 0. Okay, and let's go back job, and then let's see. So what we did is Ansible playbook. So let's see if we can run this one. Okay, I think we give the user Jenkins. Okay, and let's see if we can run it by manually executing the command here and see any problem here. Okay, okay, it says okay, host web funding line appears to be okay. There's a problem with the code. Okay, here name. Okay, let's put HOSTS and web. Okay, let's delete it again, and then add the code again. HOST host web. See if it works. We were unable to read either as JSON, MLD syntax. There appears to be line 3 column 7. Line 3 column 7. Let's make this one as a all and see if it works. Okay. Host. let's say host and if it works. Okay, still the problem is there. Apache server install host all. Name Apache. Let's make it as a space here. Name Apache tasks. Okay, let me okay, still having it. Oh, I think the problem is moved. Let me, yep, it's very particular about the spaces. And here let's see if it comes. Yeah, name latest Apache. Yeah, let's see if it works. Let me 1 second. Okay, the problem with the this playbook is there's some spaces were there, so I cleaned it up, and let's hope it should work now. And let's do Ansible playbook. Okay, it went through. And let me add this one into the Jenkins job. Let's do the dashboard, go to the Jenkins job, and let's build this now. Let's see if it comes up. Okay, okay, it became success. And let's see. Okay, we still see the page. That's good. Now let's try that automatic build directly from if you change the web page source code, and it should not go to the Git repository, and from there it goes to Jenkins, and then Ansible should deploy into web server. Let's go to the Git client initial our website page index.html. Okay, here let's add some contents. Let's do break. This is second line. Add to check CICD automatic deployment. Okay, and then that's done. And then also one more thing which we need to do is go to the webhooks, into the GitHub, go to the settings, into the webhooks, and make sure this one at the end this slash is there. So here this one slash should be there, so that one was missing. And then let's save it, update webhook, and let's see, go to the, okay, we did index change. Okay, git status, so yeah, it shows some changes are there, so which we, and git add index html, and then git commit modify, and commit. Okay, the commit is done, and then let's do push git iterate github.com colon our username, but okay, our project name should be demo sample CICD dot git. Okay, let's add the git. Yeah, it pushed. And then let's go to the this one code page, and we should see that file here in the index. Yeah, this is the second line, added to check state automatic deployment. Okay, that's done. Then go to our Jenkins job, and yeah, 8th job, 8 finished successfully. Let's go to the web page and then refresh. Yeah, here you go, this is the second line, added to check CICD automatic deployment. So this is done. So this is how, like, we successfully completed the deployment of this job and configuration of CI/CD pipeline with Jenkins, using continuous integration as well as a continuous deployment process with the 2 servers. Hope this will help you in understanding that. Thank you very much.